Can you hear me on this mic?
Maybe this is the intro.
Good. Hold on. Look at all my stuff.
That's such a show off, John. You've got a bigger cabinet and you've managed to fill it. How dare you? Hello and welcome to the Claret and Blue podcast. This is our Fanzone show for Leeds United away from home on Sunday. It's Friday, John, as this video goes out. For the first time, this is not live. We're doing this as a pre-record Thursday night. Two things. Doing it Thursday is the only time we can really do it, and that feels really far away for a game that is on Sunday. And two, despite it looking very similar, you have moved house. Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
We're not sure. We think your Wi-Fi is better. We know it's better, but there's a lot of risks. And if I did include any of the 3 minutes we've just wasted setting up, you can see that we've got a few teething issues. But it looks very similar. You've done well to kind of recreate the John Townley set.
Yeah, it wasn't really a plan. This is a completely new cabinet behind me and all sorts. So yeah, hopefully the Wi-Fi is better, because what was I working with? Was it like 8 megabytes download or something?
Yeah, something ridiculous.
It's so bad on it. And then I sent you a photo.
Now like 300 or something.
Something like that, yeah. And I'm paying like 20 quid less a month or something ridiculous. So yeah, I'm not going to name the the company before we get into trouble.
Go on, name and shame.
Yeah. No, I'm doing fine though, and I'm looking forward to this weekend even more so than before, because if anyone's moved, a lot of people have obviously moved house, and the stress of it, and oh my goodness, moving everything as well, it's taken over my life for the last few weeks. So I'm glad now to be fully focused on back on Villa.
We're going to kind of treat this like it's live. For those watching, I've got the third shirt on, this year's third shirt that I've been bought by my mum and dad for my birthday. My birthday's not till next week, but I've been given an early birthday present. I thought, you know what, I'll wear it for the podcast because it looks nice. And to be fair, when I first saw it, I wasn't mad keen on it when it was first released. But as time's gone on, it started to grow on me a little bit. Not literally, obviously.
Yeah,
but,
they should have got you. Yeah, you should have modelled it in the club store, I reckon. Long sleeves as well. Show us the sleeves.
Long sleeves, yeah. I wanted the long sleeve. I actually wanted, my parents know this, I'm not digging them out. I wanted the home shirt in long sleeve, but they didn't have it in my size. So third shirt it was. Europa League, wrong arm. Europa League patch as well. When we win that in May, this shirt will be worth a few bob, maybe. Looking forward to getting back to all things Villa. Should we start with topics in the mailbag, John? Do you want to fire me a topic?
Okay, let's start with unlocking Leeds.
Unlocking Leeds. Okay, this one's from Peter. Does Tielemans come straight in for Onana? Leeds are a very physical side, which goes in Onana's favour, but Tielemans through balls on the counter away from home could be key to unlocking the game. It is the debate, isn't it, in midfield? Onana, Kamara and Tielemans are all great options, and if all available and all fit, is a good pick to choose from. Now, Onana was withdrawn from the Belgian squad, was it, or didn't feature in the second game? So there's some doubt there. Is that just a knock, and he's going to be fine for the weekend? Obviously, as of yet, we don't know. As we can predict, Unai Emery will generally say that Villa train on a Saturday for a Sunday game, and we'll wait and see. So waiting for the presser, I don't think will give anyone an answer on Onana's fitness anyway. Certainly if it is more on the knock side than a serious injury. So if they are all available, John, and you're picking the team, what kind of midfield options are you going with? Predicted 11 in the first few minutes. I absolutely love this.
Yeah, you're going to wrap up the podcast inside a few minutes there. Well, just firstly, I remember a couple of weeks ago we spoke about, well, how's Tielemans going to get back in the team? And I think my answer was pretty plainly, well, when Onana gets injured. So if he is injured, here we go. And Tielemans will then, I think, keep his place in the team for the foreseeable. And that's nothing against Onana. I think people know how much I love Onana and what he does bring to the team. And I think we've seen that in the last few weeks, which I've been delighted to watch. I would play Onana against Leeds.
Good job.
If he is fully ready to go. But again, bearing in mind he didn't play against Liechtenstein, I think it was on Tuesday night for Belgium. The Belgian FA said that was a precaution. Well, there must have been something going on then. I know Villa had a bit of an agreement with Belgium that they would limit Tielemans' playing time. I don't know if that was the same case with Onana. I would suggest not, because Belgium would have said, well, if Onana has played all of these games against City, Tottenham, Liverpool, Bournemouth, the Burnley match he played in as well, I don't think Villa had much of a say in terms of, or I don't think they would have had much of a say in terms of saying, oh, you can't play Onana for 90 minutes. He played 71 minutes against Kazakhstan in Astana. artificial pitch, 71 minutes, not ideal. And there's also a funny story that I lost in translation a little bit, possibly. So I don't know exactly, but it was something along the lines of Onana didn't have the right boots to play on this pitch. So they had to, long story short, get someone to fly a pair over with, and they went with the boots from Belgium to Kazakhstan via Istanbul or something, just to get Onana some boots. And then another pair already arrived, and it was all a big mix up. Anyway, I would start Onana if he's ready to play, but if he's not, absolutely fine with seeing Yuri Tielemans come back in the team.
Tielemans is all right, isn't he?
Yeah,
a decent sub.
Exactly that. So, but it's difficult. Either way, that I'm really not fussed about it. Tielemans, you're coming up against the physical side in Leeds, but at the same time, Tielemans can unlock as the point set from the top, unlocking Leeds. He has got the ability to do that more so than any other player in the team, in my opinion. So happy with either, but I think I've said this a few times, playing away from home, knowing how much set pieces are important now more than ever in the Premier League, and the fact that Leeds are going to have to scrap to win points rather than play outstanding football to win points, I'm fine with Onana starting. Equally, Tielemans, player of the season last season, tremendous footballer.
Okay. Give me another topic then, please. You can go through these in whatever order we fancy.
Tommy's royalties.
I'm glad you went with this one. Tommy's royalties. Is Matt going to ask Tommy Wagner for some royalties for his voiceover feature in the Chimney FC video? Okay, right. Let's get this out as soon as we can. Right. The actual stadium, not really interested, to be honest, at all. I think the chimneys are a bit weird. And what is it? The powerhouse? Not for me. Building a new stadium, fair play to them. Like, it's whatever. Anyway, don't want to get into that now. The bit I want to do, and I'm going to play the clip because Birmingham City Football Club stole our content. So I'm going to steal a bit of theirs in return to give some context for those that haven't seen this. Now, I'm only going to play 20 seconds here before the copyright lawyers come after me. But like I said, they nicked ours first. And then we'll just discuss this odd thing that's happened.
All kicking off behind the scenes.
Birmingham City have today announced ambitious plans to build a new stadium.
A monumental day for Blues.
It's really exciting, isn't it?
Don't worry, Villa fans.
This isn't really going to happen.
An absolute pipe dream.
Multi-billion-pound investment so they can host their auto windscreen game.
City is ours. Everyone knows it.
When that first popped up, Matt actually sent us a message in our group chat going, he was getting tweets saying, "Were you in the Blues video?" We're like, what is going on here? So this is just our version of events of how this afternoon unfolded for us. So I then went and searched out this video. I didn't know this was happening today. Like I said, I'm not particularly interested. And I was like, surely someone's got a mix up here. Or I've seen people tweet Matt in the past when like a bald middle-aged man is on an ITV drama. It's like, oh, you're on so-and-so. And it's like, it's not him, but it looks like it. I thought it was going to be something like that. But that is actually Matt Kendrick's actual voice. Now, the fact they've used that, the narrative is, from a Villa fan perspective or anyone, they won't fill that stadium, so why do they need it? This is all a pipe dream, and it will never happen. And that's kind of been the outside perception of Birmingham City. And whether it does or doesn't is, again, besides the point. So they've used some of those, like, that will never happen, as part of their promo, which, again, I actually think, fair play to them, do what you like, right? But for me, I don't know what you think about this. Actually, what do you think about this before I give the context of that clip?
What?
About them using this. It's just funny, isn't it?
I mean, kind of twofold. It's funny because it's us. I say it's Matt, and I don't know how they've found that. And then secondly, I think if Villa unveiled plans for a new stadium, I don't think they would be including anything to do with another team, let alone a rival or whoever. Like,
we know that that's what they do. That's
what they play up to, I suppose.
Yeah,
and that's them. But yeah, to use Kendrick as a voiceover, and it's a funny comment as well. The auto glass game.
I went and searched using our transcription tool, claretandbluebrowse.com, and you can search it. So I searched auto windscreen game, and it popped up with one reference, surprisingly, and it was from Matt Kendrick's Villa voice notes, April 11th, 2024. The title of which was Neighbours. Everybody needs good neighbours. The description of which, Matt Kendrick returns with another Villa voice note, this time an ode to good neighbours, both inside and outside of our beloved Villa Park. So no actual reference to Birmingham City, not the metadata.
What was the podcast about?
So it was basically like, When it starts with him singing the theme tune from Neighbours, the TV show. So whoever downloaded this clip had to get through that first, which I find that funny as well.
Neighbours. Everybody needs good neighbours.
The actual quote was, and I'll read it, and I might edit it into the episode if I can be bothered.
Don't worry, Villa fans. I won't talk about them lot from down the road, our kind of blue nosy neighbours, and all the talk of them building their 100,000-seater stadium, multi-billion pound investment and that kind of thing, so they can host their auto windscreens games going forward. I won't go on about them.
The episode wasn't about Blues.
No.
So who has found this clip? If you're out there,
It must have been
is it a Villa fan in the Blues media team? Is it a Blues fan has stumbled upon this podcast that would have got like 2,000 downloads? Like, this wasn't on YouTube. It wouldn't have been socialed loads. We wouldn't have clipped that out as a dig at Blues. Like, I don't know how they found it, and that's what's funny to me.
You're right. That's why we bring it up, really.
If you'd said to me, go and find a comment of Kendrick talking about Blues' ground, I wouldn't even know where to go to find it, and I uploaded the thing.
You're the podcast editor. I don't know. I would suspect that someone who's made that video is a Claret and Blue listener.
Do you think?
It has to be. How else are they going to find that? Genuinely,
I'd love to find that. If anyone who's listening to this produced that video and thought I can get a reference to a Villa podcast in a Blues promo, get us in the mailbag. Come and show yourself. Okay, right. Give me another topic then. Let's talk about the game.
Let's go to hot dog stands and a Willy Wonka's factory. Oh, sorry, kicking off.
Kicking off. I've seen a lot of people saying this weekend it's going to be a tough one. So I wanted to ask you if you think that the time of day of certain matches makes for tougher games. For instance, when we last beat Leeds 3-0 at Elland Road, it was a 7:45 on a Thursday, and I felt much more comfortable with that. Even though we are now a better side and they're probably worse, I feel better about that than I do the upcoming game at the weekend. Do you feel the same way, and do you think the players will feel it too? So just quickly on the players, their routines will obviously be different. You know, you always hear stories, I don't know whether it's still the case, of having to scran down a big, massive bowl of pasta at 8 a.m. or whatever for a lunchtime kickoff, and that being crap, that being a weird thing to have to do. But we were talking on the Claret and Brew about things, might actually be in next week's episode, about things that we hate, and we were talking about like the TV camera looking and changing the way we feel about a game. I think kickoff times kind of have the same impact. I actually feel the opposite to Max's comment here. I think Elland Road under the lights in a night game sounds more scary to me than at 2 o'clock on a Sunday. Yeah,
I think that's true. But just from Villa's perspective, I think if you asked Unai Emery, when do you want to play a game of football? I think he'll almost always say an evening, just because he can cram information into his players before
more time for meetings.
Yeah. Dead serious. I think that is probably in his would be in his thinking. So for me, I think we probably do have better chances of getting results in later kickoffs, because of that reason. Whereas players, as you say, they're done. You wake up, you're getting your food, getting your preparation, but it all seems probably a bit rushed. But this game is different, I think, because you've obviously had an international break. The players are now coming back, or will all be back on Friday. You'd like to think that leaves Friday and the whole of Saturday, and obviously part of Sunday as well, to get information, and an away game as well. I know the home games, they go to a hotel beforehand anyway, so it's all very similar. But away matches, you are with your teammates, you're with the staff. Emery can talk to whoever he wants to, whenever he needs to, same as the staff. So I don't think it makes a massive difference, but kind of the other side of that, the psychological side for us fans, I'm with you on this one. I would much rather, and I think everyone would much rather play at Elland Road, Anfield, whoever, at 12:30 or 2 o'clock, because of those reasons. Because we would rather ourselves be at home on a night game from, the chance of winning, should we say. Villa Park is more alive at night. That's a fact. So I don't know. I'm not. I probably don't agree with the point made there. I don't know. Maybe if that was a night game, you'd probably flip it the other way. It's probably just a psychological thing.
I'm in a couple of different comment here. A hostile environment from James May. Presumably not the one from Top Gear, but let's just imagine it was. Love the podcast. Thanks, James. I think this Sunday is a huge opportunity to show we have turned a corner and can go to a hostile environment and get a win away from Villa Park. I don't want to get into the habit of dropping points like Sunderland, Brentford and Everton with harder away games to come. Now, I know you've spoken a lot about 2026's Villa away games, which is basically all of them being on paper quite difficult. Most of the games that we played, 13 games away from home, it was like, they're all quite hard. And we know we're good at home, and we do need to make I mean, it's not a statement to go to Leeds away and win because Leeds aren't very good.
Yeah.
And I kind of get that out of the way of like, I'm not suggesting we're just going to go there and roll them over, but because of it's a big club, big history, good fan base,
expectant,
intimidating stadium. Yeah, you know what you're going to get from that kind of environment. For Villa to go there and buckle and not put in a good performance away from home adds to the narrative that already exists. We want Villa to go there and break that narrative down and get out there in a really horrible, tricky game and win it and go, oh yeah, kind of nothing to worry about.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. What I would say is that Leeds have only lost one of the 5 home league games this season, which really is a decent record. They've won twice and drawn twice as well, and their games haven't been easy. They've played Everton, Newcastle and Bournemouth and Spurs as well, and West Ham. So they've beaten Everton and West Ham 3-0 was it at Forest, and 3-1 at Brighton, I think. So the last 2 games particularly poor, but it's away from home, and we know, having been in those sorts of relegation fights before, almost forget your away form. Like you know, like really don't, you know, you pick up kind of points here and there, but ultimately your home form is what is going to keep you up. And again, at Elland Road, they haven't been so bad. Playing against Everton, first game of the season, I think they've won that. Newcastle 0-0. Newcastle drawn a lot of games 0-0. Bournemouth 2-2, and I think they were winning in that Bournemouth. Yeah, Krupi scored on the 90th minute, so they were very close to beating Bournemouth at home. So, you know, they're not going to be a bad team that we're playing here. It's just a side who will be down there, and for that reason, it's a chance to get a result. And if we say this quite a lot, but if we play to our level, we've got a great chance of winning the game. And it would be disappointing if we don't win, because, you know, having climbed the table, I think our expectation now is that, okay, we're 2 points off third. I think previously maybe we'd be going to an Elland Road and thinking, well, you know, if we draw, then it's acceptable because this is who we are now. You know, our level has dropped maybe just slightly because of these different reasons. But actually, we've proven that you can have a resurgent Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, and Tottenham can get a new manager. Chelsea can continue to spend loads and loads of money. But where Aston Villa, they're not down. They're still here. Like, we're just being persistent, guys. Like Newcastle, I think Newcastle were the team that we thought we may become, or were, shall I say, some weeks ago. That isn't true. We are proving that we can be consistent again, especially in the results we've had. Bournemouth, City, Tottenham as well, all really impressive results. So for that reason, you need to go to Elland Road and win. There is no kind of grey area for me. You need to try and win that game. It would be disappointing if you don't. But of course, it's far from like a season-defining game. But you have to, when you get on a roll, try and keep it up for as long as you can. And we're not going to get anywhere with the kind of mentality. And we know this from the last 3 years, but we get nowhere from the mentality of thinking, well,
bloody hell, hold on, let me just switch my webcam.
You're not going to get anywhere from thinking, oh, well, we've won the last 2, so, you know, taking a point here. No, every game is, you treat it as singular, and with that mentality, I think, hopefully we'll be okay.
Give us another then. We've got about 3 or 4 topics left to get through, so let's wrap this show up, shall we, John?
Watkins the decider.
Oh, Watkins the decider. Let's not do too much on this. If this was live now, we get pulled into a different kind of direction. So let's have this nice and tight, John, right? This is a game in the past that I think is decided by a Watkins finish. Without them finishes and his goals, are these the types of games that we will struggle in more this season? Brentford, Everton, both decided by his goals previously, yet just 1 point this season.
Yep.
He has to start firing. That's from Unai Emery's barber. Agreed. And we've said our piece on Watkins a million times. I'm hoping and willing into existence everything that we do, every podcast that we do, that this is the game that he springs into life and scores a couple of goals and wins us the game. And then we go, right, okay, now he's done that. What does he do going forward? The longer it goes on that this is not the game that happens, the more that this comment will come up in the next one that we do, and the one after, and the one after. We all need him to score for everybody's sake.
I think it's a fantastic comment, because this is exactly the issue with Ollie for me. It's not that he is in... He basically just boils it down and quantifies of this is why we need Ollie Watkins to score goals, or in general, this is why top teams need a number 9, because as the comment suggests, the Premier League is so tight. Like, if we beat Leeds, these away games for me, they feel so... they're as good as the next one. Like when we beat Arsenal 2-0 away some seasons ago, that was probably our best... was still one of our best results, to be fair. But if this is like a happy chart, it's up here, right? Like right at the very top. If we beat Leeds tomorrow, it's probably like there. I'm still elated that we've beaten Leeds away, and because it's such a fine margin, and in the Premier League, it is so fine. It is a set piece. It is a. So this is why, you need your number 9 to be firing, or at least be on form. And perfect comment to kind of sort of pronounce what the issue is here, because again, I'm not going to criticise every part of Watkins' game because I don't think that that's valid. I do think he gives us a lot that sometimes is underappreciated, but ultimately he is going to be valued and judged on the goals that he scores or doesn't score. And as the comments say, he hasn't scored for so long, or not many goals in such a big period of time now. It's the last time I'd love to know how many games. I don't know this off by heart, but how many games it's taken him to score 3 goals. What is the period of games? Because it must be a lot.
This is his longest drought, you mean?
Or even if you're looking back at the last 30 games or so, I can't imagine there's many goals in there, which is more alarming because that's quite a big sample size.
Yeah, basically a season.
Yeah, but as I kind of keep banging on, I still don't think we have an Ollie Watkins replacement in the squad, though. We have Marlon who can chip in with goals, but the way he will score goals, I don't think is by being a number 9 that provides us with what Watkins did. Whether he does again, I hope he does. And you're right, like the question says, we need him to fire now, because whether people want a change in January, or if it's going to be that extreme, or whatever the future looks like, nothing is going to change. I don't think in the next however many, you're talking months, which is how many games is that? Oh, geez, like a lot of games. We need Watkins to be firing.
Right, a couple together I'm going to do here. Drunk McGinn and Sancho time. 2 long ones here from the first one. I'll save the name, actually. Not saying we will win, because football doesn't work like that. But I would say from all the games I've seen this season, Leeds are easily the 2nd worst team in the league. Who's the 1st worst? Wolves.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah. And these are the sort of away games we have to win. Their big positive is that they are very, very physical, but it feels like everybody is physical in the Premier League. But they are a team made of all ham and eggers with no tip-top Charlies. Yes, a callback to an old episode.
I hate that, ham and egg. It's horrible.
My only concern is that it's currently Thursday, and Scotland striker Lyndon Dykes says Guinea is still currently in the pub. I feel like he will be absolutely emotionally drained from Tuesday night. Is it worth giving him a rest and restricting him to 30 minutes in the second half? And that was from World Cup qualifier, Leandro Bacuna. Great. Scenes, by the way, for Scotland. I don't know whether you saw it. Well, yeah, as well, yeah. That Scotland game was pretty wild, and John McGinn dancing around with a corner flag.
For Ireland as well.
Yeah. And Sancho time. Adam Wright says, with Guinea having an exhausting week, both physically and mentally, could this be a time to rest him and give Sancho a chance from the start? Whilst doing well, I do feel Sancho has yet to announce himself at Villa, and this could be the perfect opportunity. Now, I agree with everything that's been said there. Sancho hasn't announced himself yet. This will be a good opportunity to do so. I'm sure he'll get a great reception from the Leeds fans as a former Man United player. And the McGinn thing, now he is, whether he's in the pub or not, a brilliant professional, a great captain. Obviously, Villa are doing their little media run on him at the moment with the kind of documentary thing that they've produced, which looks, I've not watched it yet, but looks brilliant. And I know you won't have watched it either with how busy you've been moving house. Although if you have watched it, what have you been doing? I
haven't watched it, but shout out to Reese who made it and produced it.
Okay, nice, yeah. Shout out to Reese, so I don't know. But that is a thing. It's a very emotional week, very physical as well. It puts a lot into it. It is Tuesday, Sunday. He'll be back at Bodymore. His head will be in the right place. Yeah. Does McGinn start, do you think?
Yes, and I think he should as well. He's a professional. I saw, I didn't see it, it's on the TV cameras. They've come out of, I don't know, whatever hotel they were staying at in up in Scotland. And after the game, after the celebrations, they look a bit sort of bleary-eyed and whatnot.
Fair enough.
We're talking about Sunday here. I know footballers don't touch alcohol really during a season, and I presume that they did on. Again, and fair enough. Was it Tuesday night or Wednesday night?
I think it was Tuesday.
Anyway, Sunday is a long way away from then, and he'll be fine, I'm sure. He actually said after the chap goes in his face and says like, "Oh, good night," and he was like, "Oh yeah," but kind of toned it down a little bit because we got a game Sunday.
Yeah,
and I think it's very John McGinn to have full focus on that straight away because he's the captain. If you're working under Unai Emery and your full focus isn't on that, I think you go down in his estimation. Whoever or whatever player you are, your full focus is on Aston Villa. And he would have got, a lot of warmth from, everyone at Villa, at Bodymore, but especially from him, I'm sure, for qualifying, because it's a massive achievement for Scotland. And that's not me being like pedantic or whatever. It's huge. So, fair play to him. And hopefully Ireland can get there as well, and Northern Ireland. And Wales, but they all can't, because Northern Ireland and Wales, of course, are in the same bracket.
Right.
Yeah, so one of them will go through, or just Italy. But anyway, I think it'll be fine. McGinn, I don't see an issue, and I would also be staggered, to be honest, if Sancho started.
If he has a stinker against Leeds, we probably know why.
And then people will call it out if so, because drink or no drink, you still need to perform on the weekend. What I would say is that I think if McGinn doesn't play, Gesson would, because, and I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but Emery, I think, will value what Gesson brings, kind of out of possession, I suppose. I don't know, it's really hard at the moment because you're looking at what he does bring Gesson on the pitch, and I think Emery knows or thinks he knows what it is, but we aren't seeing it. So hopefully that happens before he goes to AFCON, of course. I do think Buendia and Rodgers should be starting behind Watkins. I think they've always cemented their places. Buendia, I think now he's in everyone's best 11, is he not?
I think if everyone's perfectly fit and you can pick whatever team you want, I think your midfield onwards is Kamara, Tielemans, McGinn, Rodgers, Buendia, Watkins up front.
I think so as well. And you obviously have players who can come in there at any kind of given opportunity, but without Buendia, because I'm leaving Harvey out of the situation here, really. Without Buendia, your creative spark is probably Sancho. But I haven't really been that impressed with Sancho, really. We've kind of seen little sparks here and there, but nothing is really drawing me in to think like, that this will click at some point. Whereas Rashford, very different situation. So I'm not totally sure where I lie with him at the moment. And I said this before, but the winter window last year was obviously such a big window for us. But that was because we raised £100 million in transfer fees, and we could spend some of it, and then we brought in loans and bumped up the wage packet a lot. What are we going to do in January to kind of facilitate new arrivals? Because there are holes in the squad for me.
What lever are we going to pull to allow us to spend?
And firstly, Harvey Elliott can't get a kick. Sancho, what's the sort of are we willing to give him a whole season, or is there someone else who we think who come and hit the ground running? Andres Garcia can't play at the moment. He's not fit. There's a lot of kind of question marks around a few players that can make us even better, but I still think we're strong. Like, for example, when you play young boys, fine, Sancho can play. Other players can play, and we'll probably get over the line in that game. Like, similar to Tel Aviv, it felt almost like, what are we doing here? Like, because the league phase is so long and exhaustive, you just kind of getting over these teams and just about doing enough to beat them, fine. Like, you kind of just go through the motions a little bit. I feel like that is what the league phase can be, even though I keep going on getting the top two. But when it gets to you have 12 games left of the season and you're in 7th and you've got a chance of getting the Champions League there, and you're also in the round 16 or quarterfinals of the Europa League, and you've got difficult teams now. You've got your Romas, Lille, whoever it may be. That's when it's really going to be testing for us. And do we have the right squad makeup for that? I think at the moment it's okay, because we can kind of get through the league phase, and the Premier League we seem to be chipping away and doing well. But it's without kind of massive kind of problems in areas where I think we have problems, essentially. Like midfield, we are pretty stacked. If Tielemans isn't playing, okay, well, Onana can come in, vice versa. Different players, but you are still strong. If Rodgers is unfit, or if Buendia's got an injury, or whatever it is, if Watkins can't play, we haven't got much here. We haven't mentioned Marlon very often, so I will say Marlon in there as well. But he seems to be someone who's almost a bit of a luxury at points for us, and but for Emery. I just question if we have the kind of substantial quality in certain areas to really go for this season, but maybe January will clarify that.
Give me another topic then, please, John.
What the hell is that? I'm going to ignore whatever that is for now, because I don't want to read that.
You will be.
All right, let's go for first name, surname.
First name, surname. Good. I had a thought recently. This could be a Q&A topic, but I'm not doing a Q&A next week, and we'll get to that at the end of the show. I had a thought recently about footballers whose surnames are also used as first names.
Yep.
That led me to think how many Villa players, past or present, this applies to, and whether an 11 could be put together. Now, there is an example, and I'll save that because I think we're going to need it.
Yeah.
I thought this might make an interesting discussion on the pod, as there are quite a few players this applies to. Can you, John, think of any players who have a first name and a surname that could both be first names?
This is from James David, so I'm going to go with David James.
Yes, and I think that's an obvious clue. So David James in goal.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the other, the option that has been given here as an example is John Terry at centre half.
And
Terry John could work.
And with that, we're done.
I've got one more without even having to Google.
Well done.
Gareth Barry.
Yes, nice.
Could
Very
be
good.
Barry Gareth.
Yeah.
And I've got one more.
I've got one.
Go on.
Tammy Abraham.
You know what? Fair play.
It's got to be right.
Yeah, good. Yeah, Abraham Lincoln.
But if it was Abraham Tammy, I don't know anyone called Tammy apart from Tammy Abraham. God.
Yeah.
So I
absolutely
wouldn't.
fine, yeah.
That wouldn't qualify, but his first name is Tammy. So
Yeah, you can have that.
Thanks.
Here's one. Not really a current Villa player. Harvey Elliott.
Nice. I have another one.
Yeah. Oh, we're cooking now. Come on.
Joe Cole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. I never would have gone for that. Yeah. Cole Palmer, of course.
Yeah.
Right. I think we've run out of steam there, so I'm going to Google footballers. I'll cut this down. Who have a surname that could be a first name? Anthony Gordon.
Villa players,
these aren't Villa players. I'm just going through
yeah.
examples. Reece James, etc., etc. Could have been a Villa player in a different life. Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a former Villa player in the list here on Reddit.
That
Jacob
works.
Ramsey. Is Ramsey a first name? Yeah, Ramsey Bolton, the actor, Welsh, from Game of Thrones.
I watched Game of Thrones most of it.
He was
but I didn't. I just enjoyed the kind of spectacle of it.
he was like torturing one of the characters. He was like, a
yeah.
psychopath. Hang on a minute. Ramsey Bolton is it's Ramsey with an A. To be fair.
I've got it. Yeah.
I've said there Ramsey Bolton, the Welsh guy. Ramsey's a Welsh name, but Ramsey is the character name, not the actor's name. So it's not Welsh at all. I've just completely made that up. His real name is Ewan, which is very Welsh. There must be loads of these.
Steven Gerrard. Oh, I wasn't a player though.
Gerrard is the first name.
Yeah, Gerrard Peter. It's a bit borderline, but he wasn't. I wasn't a player anyway. So yeah, forget him.
I've got one.
Kevin Phillips. Nah, can't call someone Phillips, can you?
No, it's not far off though. Kieran Clark, like Clark.
Yeah. Clark's one. Yeah,
That counts.
definitely. That's nice. Yeah, that's good. We've nearly got an. It's a terrible 11, but it's an 11.
Oh, it's a terrible 11. Lots of defenders.
Michael Bradley.
Oh, nice.
You know what? I got to that.
Terrible 11.
Yeah, I've seen a worse Villa 11. Diego Carlos. There you go. That's one.
Yeah, Carlos. Yeah, Carlos Cuellar. So that can be a first name.
Oh, by the way, I've got a great little story here. I've told you before how my brother's first shirt was Carlos Cuellar.
Yeah.
Mine, I always thought was Stuart Downing.
Yeah.
However, I've now learned...
For a second then I was thinking, Stuart Downing, does that work? No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I've now learned that my first kit name, and this is
who's
bizarre.
this going to be? Can I guess?
You can, so this is in 2008, or 07, 08, I think it was.
Chances are here I'm not going to get it right because it's going to be somebody rogue.
It's utterly bizarre. I've no idea what's pulled me into this shirt, but go for it.
Is it Sean Maloney?
No, but I did like Sean Maloney. It was Luke Moore.
Oh,
what am I doing there?
Okay, I think we're going to have to wrap up and move to our next segment because I can't find any more that are Villa related. If you've got any suggestions of players who have a first name and a surname that can both be first names, then get them in the comments. Okay, penultimate topic then, John. I actually want you to read this question, please.
It's only the headline that's throwing me off here. So it's called "Take It Off, Take It Off, Take It Off." On match day, John, if this rule existed, for every piece of clothing he doesn't wear, Villa scores a goal. Okay, how many items would he end up leaving off? If it's a freezing cold night game, would he ditch the warm coat and socks just to see Villa banging 3 goals?
Oh, 3 goals for warm coat and socks. Is a sock each, a goal each? If it is, that's a Brucey bonus, isn't it?
Okay, so
Steve Bruce.
Steve Bruce.
Oh, mad thing to shout out for those that haven't just skipped the last 10 minutes.
Steve Bruce. I was begging you, sir. To be like really kind of boring about this. It's probably 3 goals to win a game, so I'll take 3 layers off.
Yeah. Well, so what?
I think it's what extreme would you go to?
Yeah. So
what would
you
I
sit
wear?
there in shorts and a t-shirt in winter if it meant Villa have a chance of winning the game?
Put it this way: I would go to every game in a shirt and shorts if it meant Villa win the game. Absolutely,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't think you can be that clear. So I think what would have to be is if you get, I don't know, like a 10% more chance. I think that would have to be the question.
Yeah, there's a chance you're doing this for nothing.
Yeah, or Villa are guaranteed to score 1 goal, just 1 goal, maybe more, but at least 1 goal if you wear shirts and shorts to every game. So you're going to be free. Like right now, I would -3 at night. Wow. I would do it.
I still think you have to do it, yeah.
I would do it, yeah.
Okay, final point.
We'd die for this club.
John, on Monday, you and Matt are taking the reins, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So this is the last.
That's good.
This is the last episode before it cancelled. It's been great.
Please let the podcast still be in one piece when I return.
Yeah. So what's that going to be? That's going to be like a post-match / Q&A. So
I think so.
There won't be
yeah,
anything. There won't be anything on Sunday, unless you want to watch my walk and talk, which that'll only be on my Twitter page.
Yeah, stick it on social media. Yeah. So I'm. It's my birthday next week, so I am unavailable. Let's just say, having a little bit of time off. So no post match on Sunday. You and Matt will do a live stream, I think. Good luck to you. If you can get that to work.
How's the
It could be
internet? Is it good?
absolute chaos. It's good, yeah. It's held up really well, so that's a bonus. Brucey bonus again. Another shout out for that little phrase. So that'll be Monday mid-morning, probably, maybe around lunchtime. That'll be kind of TBC. Keep your eye out on Monday for some kind of episode from John and Matt. Could be chaos. I'm actually really looking forward to watching it back to see what happened.
Hopefully we win, so we can talk about that. But I think if we lose, I think that would be equally. People will probably tune into that just as much. But yeah, it'll be like a post-match for, I don't know, 20 minutes ish or so, and then a Q&A for essentially the rest of the show, which we'll try and get it to around 40 minutes to an hour, I think is the plan.
Something like that.
And that would time until we play BSC Young Boys.
Yeah, so we've got Young Boys on the Thursday. I'll be back for that. There will be a post-match show for Young Boys, and there will be a Claret and Brew that goes out at some point between Monday and Thursday as well, that we've already recorded. We filmed it last week. That is a wrap on this episode of Fanzone. John, your Wi-Fi held up throughout, so I think we're I mean, you're doing a live show Monday, so yeah, that's the plan. But you're free to go and do lives again because your Wi-Fi's held up. Do you feel comfortable, John, filming a podcast? New environment, looks the same. New environment. You feel okay?
Yeah, no, it does feel a bit weird. To be honest, I'm sitting like at a different angle. I'm looking at a different thing, and yeah, I don't think it's been my best performance, but we'll get there.
I enjoyed it. That was a good
show.
Yeah,
to be fair, I haven't done anything of it for a while, not properly anyway. But yeah, now there's lots of football coming back. We're ready to go, and yeah, because I've got a bit of a new setup, I'm going to try and do a bit more. We're more prepared to do more different things, so maybe stay tuned for that as we go on.
Let's call it there. Thanks for joining me, John. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.